All right. So, this is actually going to be the start of a lot of new videos that I'm going to be doing. These ones will end up being uploaded on YouTube for free, especially being that we've got a lot more newcomers that are coming into the community. And it'll be a nice reference for newcomers to be able to look up the basics, starting mycology. The first thing is being as clean as possible. I've already prepped my table area. I went ahead, sprayed everything down with isopropyl and let it dry. I got my flow hood going right now. Even though we're doing just a simple break and shake on these bags, it is kind of important not to overkill so that way you don't end up stalling your bags. Everything I do in front of the flow hood. And what I'd recommend, especially for newcomers, anything you're going to do messing with anything in mycology, get in the habit of doing it either in a still air box or a flow hood. Secondly, anytime that you go to do anything, whether it be with grain bags, tubs, agar plates, even inoculating, always spray down some paper towels with some rubbing alcohol and wipe them down real good, because even though the grains in these bags are sealed, you know what I mean, stuff is floating around in the air all the time, and when you go to start agitating things, that's when things can kind of go wrong, and you can end up with contamination if you're not careful. I'm not saying that that's guaranteed what's going to happen every time, but you can never be too clean, because the cleaner you are, the greater the reduction of contamination, risk, and things like that. So, just going to go ahead and finish wiping these down. So, I inoculated all 3 of these bags at different times. Let's see, I don't know if we can see this. It's kind of backwards on the thing, but these were inoculated on December 14th. This one, Albino Emerald Gates, was inoculated on January 5th. And Albino Chupacabra, January 5th. So, the Albino Emerald Gates is actually almost 100% already. And what I like to do is I will do a break and shake when I've got about a quarter size piece around my injection area. Just to help redistribute the moisture in the bottom so it doesn't get wet rot. And then I'll do it again at about 50%. And then a last break and shake right at about 100%, which will be where these 2 are at. The reason why I do one when it's almost at 100% is because if there's any sort of contamination in this grain bag, it's going to show itself on this last break and shake. That way I don't end up wasting time and even more material sending it to substrate. So with the break and shakes, I mean, there's really no wrong way to do these, I guess. But some people will tell you, oh, just break up the grains and shake up the bag. I kind of like to massage the bag. Also, another thing when you're doing work, always wear a face mask. Even some of the ones from Amazon with the little filters, or just your basic like hospital masks that everyone was wearing during COVID. There's a lot of contaminants that we actually exhale, and when working with this type of stuff, as I said before, we want to greatly reduce our contamination risks. So instead of just like full-blown slamming on this and just kind of beating the hell out of it, I go through and I'll take the actual clumps I know it's kind of hard to see in this video. Let me see if I can get this a little closer for y'all. But I'll actually take and I just massage all that stuff around real good and get all the clumps broke up. And then once I get through the whole bag, I will kind of lay this down and I will gently shake it back and forth. And what that'll do is when you're at different stages, it'll give you even more colonization points in your grain and help the mycelium take over that much faster. And then I won't repack it or nothing. Once it's done, see there's only a little bit of pieces of white that are in there. The mycelium almost kind of disappears for a day or two, and then it'll bounce back. This next time that this is completely covered, which will probably be here in about 4 or 5 days, I'll be sending it to substrate. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get these other 2 bags done, and stay tuned. I'll be posting another video here later today on how to properly inoculate your grain bags. Much love, y'all.